Audionovelas 2.0, jiji.
We go down the stairs. And what I see is a kind of labyrinth. It has 4 sectors that I can go to, but what is more interesting is that it is illuminated. It is as if the light of the sun was reflected from the upper walls, although at a lower level. The percentage of food that I have left will last for about 3 hours. Now I will investigate 1 hour maximum and return to my house to prepare myself better. I continue through the sector that is in front of the stairs. After 10 minutes we find a couple of giant rats. They measure 30 centimeters high and 2 meters long with a 1 meter long tail. It has sharp claws and large and sharp teeth. Its teeth measure 5 centimeters. When the rat sees us, it opens its mouth and makes a great scream. Hey, 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 to my ears. I cover my ears because of the pain and I order the automatons to eliminate the rat. The automatons quickly eliminate the rats. I can see that they cut off the rat head cleanly, and when I get closer to investigate their bodies, these same bodies turn into particles and disappear. That surprised me, but among all the intrigue something appeared that interested me a lot. One of the 3 rats left a kind of yellow stone. It has the same color as the rat. I quickly search my memories of the afterlife and one answer comes to mind. It could be a magic stone. I order one of the automatons to put it away. I continue a bit more and after 15 minutes I see a group of skeletons. These walking skeletons have rusty swords and some of them have animal bones using them as clubs. The group of 15 skeletons faced C1 and were literally smashed. C1 cut through the skeletons without hesitation. I was looking forward to what items these skeletons could drop, but I was disappointed. Not a single one of the 15 skeletons gave anything. We continued a little more and we find another group of skeletons. This time I face them. I don't know if it's normal, but for me these skeletons are slow. I can see their movements as if they were in slow motion, some cuts on one side and kicks on the other. I easily beat the skeletons. When I finished with them I could see something that made me very excited and it was some kind of white pebbles. There are 4 in total. Woo-jaa. Ha 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 ha. This is what I was looking for. Wah ha ha ha. Treasures, objects. I came nearer. Ahem. I wanted to say intelligence. He 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 he. As time is running out we go back, but on the way back we run into 3 rats and 9 skeletons together. The rats scream while the skeletons ran to attack us. I was the only one with some problems, since I had eardrums. The pain was sharp, but that horrible scream didn't affect my automatons. I wonder if they have sound levelers or maybe they never had eardrums, but it is incoherent because when I order them they listen to my orders and just like when I speak to them. My automatons easily stop the advance of the skeletons. The rats, seeing that the skeletons lost, don't escape. On the contrary, they run towards me trying to bite me, but D1, Lancer automaton easily pierces them with his spear. I would feel sorry for the rats, but since their screams hurt my eardrums, I'm kind of happy. We collect 2 yellow and 3 white crystals. This is good. Before reaching the exit we defeat 1 common iron golem and 12 more rock golem. Also investigate G1, parasitic mini automaton. Apparently the mithril stone is missing a lot to fully charge, and the automata assigned to his protection collected 5 rock golem cores. Good guys, he he he. Zero is pouting, apparently jealous. I pat Zero's head and we return to my house. While we were going back we eliminated 3 more wolves and a big wolf appeared. I'm happy. It's time for revenge. I order B1, C1 and D1 to eliminate the big wolf. The big wolf throws its needles from the tip of its tail giving a spin, but they only scratched the Damascus steel body of my automatons and C1 cut off one of the great wolf's legs when he was confused to see that his attack failed to hurt us. The wolf tries to break C1's arm with a bite but his teeth only they managed to get stuck in C1's arm. It is interesting how sharp their fangs are. D1 takes advantage of this moment to impale the big wolf. I was surprised. D1 managed to kill the big wolf with a big blow and raised it with one hand. Literally the big wolf is impaled on his spear and D1 is lifting him up into the sky. That's scary. When I returned I celebrated by cooking wolf meat with apple juice. If you ask, yes, I created a blender that works with magical power, just like the world of Earth, but unlike that one, this blender does not have a connection cable or microchips. it has a magical formula inside that makes it rotate at the touch of a button. After eating, I investigate the objects found in the dungeon. I start with the yellow stone. I try to investigate how it works inside, and a vague information appears in my mind of what it seems to be. According to what I understood from the information is that this white rock it is used to strengthen weapons. It seems to have a permanent minor hardening effect on objects that were made by adding this rock to it. It is interesting, very very interesting. Acquired skill object appreciation level 1. I was surprised when I suddenly heard a voice in my mind, it's very, very interesting. Wait, that means I can acquire skills based on my actions, but I iced up a lot of things, but it didn't give me anything new. After meditating for a while, I can say that my main skills are at the maximum level and won't improve anymore. I continue with the yellow stone, sound rock. It has the ability to generate sound when magic power is supplied to it. The sound level varies with the amount supplied. Wujahajo, it is interesting, and on top of that it has a name. In the same way the white rock, it's called a hardening stone. In short, the yellow rock is like a kind of speaker, very very interesting. I grab a few white rocks and turn them into powder, then using alchemy I try to add it to the Sword of Zero. I can see that the Sword of Zero glows slightly and returns to normal. I try to research the Sword of Zero and it comes to my mind. Magic sword minor hardening. This sword can repair itself and harden with magic power. The level of repair and hardening depends on the level of magic power added. I am speechless. The object appreciation skill is very convenient. Besides, I think that if I create the object, the skill gives me the complete details. It is the best. Magic is the best. Well, it's time for the important thing. I concentrate and try to create a kind of mini speaker from the yellow stone, but I can only change its shape since this stone does not have magic circuits. I leave it as it is. I create a golem and add the mini speaking in the part where the vocal cords would be, and I concentrate on the ability to create formulas. I imagine the way of moving the mouth, the noises and sounds that come out of the mouth, while I imagine what it would be like to speak my language. I can feel like my mind is being read and I start to get an idea of what the magic formula would be like. After 1 minute I finished the creation. It cost me some mana, but I got tired mentally. Now I understand the magic formula ability better. When creating a new magic formula, it takes a lot of mental power to create the formula, but once it's created it's very easy to create more. I understand, because when I created Zero I felt so bad and even fainted from exhaustion. I thought it was just because of the expense of undue magical power, but it was for the creation of the automata formula. I tell him to repeat after me to the automaton. Say hey up incoming. I reduced it about 10 times. Once again say hello, hello. It's a bit loud compared to my voice. I reduce it a few more times until the tone level of your voice is the same as the one I'm using. I speak to him in a voice go down. Say hello, hello, that's great. He repeated it at the same level, one more time, but this time out loud I tell him to say hello sir, ha ha ha, perfect, that's very good. I remove the formula to talk and make it a basic automaton, then I add the formula to Zero and the device it creates. Once the installation is finished, I say let's go Zero, say something, and Zero I answer something like what? I shout yes I go and hug Zero. Zero seems confused by the situation and asks, my lord, what's going on? Upon hearing it I am filled with even more joy and I start to turn while I press Zero harder, it will be even more confused, and repeat once more my lord what is happening, ha 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 Zero, nothing happens. I'm just happy, I can finally talk to someone. I was very alone, talking to myself and giving orders alone. Once Zero heard me he relaxed. My lord can talk to me all he wants. Zero's voice is a bit robotic. I modify it to be similar to Zero's personality. Now he speaks with a slightly childish voice, but I think it suits him. I ask Zero something that caught my attention. Zero, why that you call me sir? My lord. He is the creator of Zero, my lord the king of Zero. I Zero will protect my lord. How cute. I caress the head of Zero. Then I create 5 battle-made automata. They look somewhat feminine, but they are still made of steel. I implant the last 2 mini speakers that I created using the sound rocks. I will add them to the rest of the automata as soon as I collect more materials. I add a U-made type. Sounds calm and calming. I went to sleep, but this time the battle maids are accommodating my blankets and they leave saying good night master. That alone is enough to warm my heart. The next day I wake up with a warm voice, wake up master, what happiness. Needless to say that it was one of the battle servant automata. I wake up with energy and start preparing to continue with the dungeon. After the preparations we went out and until we reached the underground of the dungeon we defeated 2 wolves and 6 golems. Of course the rock golem cores collected by the protective automatons that stayed to protect G1 stayed with them until the exit, and I modified the iron cart so that it had 6 legs like those of spiders. Apart from this time the Damascus steel golem appeared in the boss room and now we are in the basement right on the stairs. He. This time I brought 6 squire automata, 8 warrior automaton, 8 spearman automaton, 8 squire automaton and 4 spider type iron carts. I order them to explore the maze and if they find a door to return and wait. Send 2 squads of automata on each side with a spider type cart to collect the materials dropped by the monsters. One would say that we continued with the search. But what we did was destroy everything that was in front of us. I was standing on the spider-type cart while the automatons were ahead and back running and taking out everything in front and behind. Of course Zero was next to me. It was fun. We spent 2 hours eliminating many monsters and a new one appeared, a poisonous spider. The object that the spider left when it was eliminated was a small ball. When analyzing the small ball I discovered that it has a low-level paralyzing poison. And unfortunately we did not find the room boss, just a rock wall. We go back to the stairs. We returned quickly and arrived in 30 minutes. Since the other expedition groups that I sent did not arrive, I started to cook some food and while I was preparing the food, a message appeared in my mind that said skill acquired cook level 1, ah, that's good. Later from eating I felt that it had a little more flavor than normal. The groups arrived after 1 hour. The third group to arrive were those who discovered the door. I sent 2 groups to save the found objects of all and those of G1. After 1.30 minutes we got to the boss room and went inside. I was so excited that I forgot about the door and got a big scare. I could see a magic circle on the ground that began to shine and a minotaur appeared. Wujahajo, it is the typical minotaur. It has 2 legs, a large body and an axe. The minotaur, upon seeing us, made a great roar and came running towards us. He was taking strong steps and he was running quite fast. I was excited to see the battle, but when the minotaur attacked, B1 the squire automaton stopped the blow and C1 the warrior automaton cut off his arm, when the minotaur grabbed his arm due to pain. D1 the spearman automaton he pierced the minotaur eliminating it instantly. All my excitement of a great battle was instantly extinguished. I was a little disappointed. A minotaur horn appeared. When analyzing the object I discovered that it is used to create aphrodisiac potions. Ajahajo, I keep it with a slightly red face, and we return. The days passed quickly. I spent my time improving my kingdom and creating lots of new things, and after 3 years when I was preparing to enter the dungeon H1 the reconnaissance automaton appeared, and told us, I found forms of intelligent life. I was paralyzed for a few seconds. I quickly ordered him to direct us. We quickly went where H1 indicated us. After 30 minutes of going at full power I could see a few people and animal-like people in the distance. I used binoculars to see better. Apparently some humans on horseback were chasing people similar to animals. The humans looked like knights. They had armor and swords. There were a total of about 6 knights. The animal people had ears and tails. Some had a different color with different tails. The people they had no weapons and their clothes were somewhat torn. Apparently they were protecting a pretty animal woman. I quickly approached them before they caught them. I arrived just at the moment when they were 6 meters away.